We're following the breaking news that started in Cumberland County and then went into Dauphin County.
And that's where a police standoff just ended. Now, police say several people were randomly taken hostage in a home on Devonshire Road near the intersection of Jonestown Road, right behind Gander Mountain.
Police say the hostages were released and the suspect is in custody.
We begin live team coverage now with Dave Marcheski, who's at the scene. Dave.
Well, Flora and Val, that was quite an intense, chaotic ending that we just had here. About 30 minutes ago, police say Joseph Aldinger came outside to surrender, acting like he was going to surrender with his hands up, but then he flashed a gun, jumped in a nearby pickup truck, and sped off. He got out, sprinted to a nearby Salvation Army, and inside the store, that's when officers caught up with him. Just check out this video. SWAT team members carried Aldinger outside that Salvation Army. Now, if you look closely, you can see he was barefoot and shirtless. Officers say less than lethal force was used to subdue him. He was thrown in the back of a Lower Paxton Township squad car and was taken away. Again, this all began early this morning in Cumberland County with a kidnapping of sorts. This spilled into Dauphin County with a bank robbery at Liberty Square off of Jonestown Road just before noon. Authorities say Aldinger hijacked a car here at Garner Mountain, drove to some homes behind the shopping center. There, police say Aldinger held 4 people hostage. Unknown to him, 4 innocent people. Dauphin County CERT team and multiple local agencies responded. Negotiators made contact with Aldinger. He let 2 hostages free around 1 o'clock. He kept the other 2 inside for quite some time. But by 3 o'clock, the other 2 were set free. And again, he was ready to surrender to police before fleeing. Dauphin County District Attorney Ed Marsco says all day led up to this chaotic ending.
He literally was out of control. Everybody in the area was in danger. So it was a quick police response by Lower Paxton Police, other agencies that cornered him in that house right away. The CERT team then getting here and eventually being patient and then getting him in custody.
Now, people were on edge all day long. We're sitting next to 2 pizza places, of course, the shopping center here. People were wondering what was going on. And after police apprehended Aldinger, people started cheering, chanting for the SWAT team members for getting this guy off the streets. It was definitely some intense moments all day long. And as we said before, this all began in Cumberland County, and that's where we head to Amanda St. Hilaire with that side of the story. Amanda.
Well, Dave, police say this happened here in Upper Allen Township. The call came in just after 7 this morning, and police say Joseph Aldinger, that man you were just referencing, police are telling us that he held a man at gunpoint inside of his house. Now, several other law enforcement officials are telling us that the victim in this case is a Camp Hill prison guard. Upper Allen Township police say they can't confirm or deny that point, but they do tell us that they believe that the profession of the victim had nothing to do with this situation. And with that, I want to take you over to Lieutenant Michael McLaughlin with Upper Allen Township Police. Lieutenant McLaughlin, how did all of this unfold this morning?
At approximately 7:20 this morning, we received a call regarding a vehicle in Geneva Green complex in Upper Allen Township. Officers responded. We determined that the car was stolen out of Lancaster County. At the same time, we received information that a kidnapping had occurred where an individual was taking his trash out at approximately 5:30, was confronted by another individual armed with a handgun, forced back into his residence, and ultimately forced to drive from Upper Allen to Harrisburg City.
Now, from what you were telling me before, it sounds like there were other people in the house as well.
There were several adults and several small children in the house during this occurrence.
Now, a situation like this doesn't happen a lot in this community. So what do you want people sitting at home to take away from this?
The individual, our victim, was simply taking his trash out and was accosted. Crime can happen to anyone at any place. Be aware of your surroundings and take the necessary precautions.
Thank you, Lieutenant McLaughlin. And of course, we'll be staying on top of this story here for you in the coming days. But for now, Flora, Val, back to you.
All right, thank you, Amanda St. Hilaire, live there in Cumberland County. Now, police say the suspect in this case has a long criminal history that goes back more than 10 years.
He served time for robbery and was recently arrested for DUI. Dan Kerrigan continues our team coverage. Dan.
Ladies, good evening. The man allegedly at the center of all this, we did some research and found out this is far from his first brush with the law. Now take a look. Officials confirmed the man involved, the suspected robber, hostage taker, and standoff suspect is this guy, 29-year-old Joseph Aldinger, Court papers last indicate he lived here in Mount Wolf. Aldinger actually made one of our newscasts back in 2003. Back then, he faced a long list of charges, including attempted homicide, following a shooting in East Pennsboro Township. Additionally, again, according to court papers, Aldinger pleaded guilty to robbery in 2004 and was sentenced to 5 to 10 years. He apparently was out of prison in June because, again, court papers say he was arrested for DUI. With things wrapping up here on the scene with the suspect in custody, we're learning more about him. We'll have more at 6. Working for you in Lower Paxton Township, Dan Kerrigan, ABC 27 News. Back to you.
It really seemed like a thing, something from a Hollywood movie. And we interviewed one of the people who was actually held hostage
We
today.
certainly did. Dan Kerrigan did that just a short time ago. Dan joins us now live. Dan.
Mark and Alicia, good evening. We spoke with this man moments ago. As you mentioned, he said this whole ordeal happened and started outside his home here in Upper Allen Township when he was taking out the trash early this morning.
As I shut the door, I turn around. I hear like kind of someone like running, and so I stopped to look over that way. He noticed me too, and that's when he drew his weapon out on me and told me to stop, to head back into the house.
The man who said he went through the scary ordeal did not want us to show his face as he shared the rest of his story.
At that point, you know, I don't know what's going on. I'm just like shocked. This is actually happening to me.
The man says he was forced inside his home and held at gunpoint for nearly 2 hours with his girlfriend and 3 children inside.
He mentioned that he was doing crystal meth, and that he was running from the cops or the feds.
Then the man told us the suspect, who has been identified by officials as 29-year-old Joseph Aldinger, demanded to be driven somewhere.
We got to the car. I asked him where he wants to go. He said, take me to Harrisburg, up to the Klein Village area. That's where I let him go there, and I was on my way. Before I let him go, I said, I just want to thank you for not hurting me and my family.
Hours later, Aldinger was arrested in Lower Paxton Township, bringing an alleged crime spree to a dramatic end.
I was angry, I was scared, but I was just happy that I got out of it and still was able to come home to my kids and that they were safe.
And the man we spoke with said he is a corrections officer. He said he was actually getting ready for work, wearing his uniform when this all happened. He said he was fighting to stay calm throughout this entire incident. Again, thankful his family is safe tonight. Working for you in Upper Allen Township tonight, Dan Kerrigan, ABC 27 News. Back to you.
New information tonight on that wild crime spree that spanned 3 counties. Police captured Joseph Aldinger yesterday, but not before he allegedly committed a carjacking, abducted people, held people hostage, robbed a bank, and got into a standoff with police. Today, his mother told us what went wrong with her son. Dave Marcheski joins us with that. Dave.
Well, Alicia, he was trying to score meth and heroin. That, according to District Attorney Ed Marsico. Also today, I did speak with Aldinger's mother, and she has some strong words about her son. Shirtless and shoeless, it took several armed men to capture and control Joseph Aldinger Thursday. Prosecutors say he was whacked out of his mind from crystal meth.
And normally when you see erratic behavior like this, a bunch of robberies, you know, history tells us many times it's going to be an individual addicted to drugs.
Looking to score more, a tweaking Aldinger allegedly held a Cumberland County man at gunpoint.
He mentioned that he was doing crystal meth, and like he was real schizo and very like agitated.
After seeing her son run rampant through 3 counties, hold many hostage, Diane Aldinger called ABC 27, apologizing for her son suffering herself. She says, I do not condone my son's behaviors yesterday, but that was not my son. This is what happens when you get involved with meth. Anyone who has dealt with addiction in their family knows the pain that comes with that. Adding, her son struggled with addiction since a teen. The 29-year-old is charged with more than a dozen crimes and involved in a federal investigation. And according to Marsico, he's facing a decade behind bars.
That's another tragic example of how drugs can ruin a life.
And Aldinger's mother talked more about the horrors of drug addiction. She says when she looked online for help for her son, she found more websites on how to make meth than to treat his addiction. He sits in prison tonight on $2 million bail. Working for you in Dauphin County, Dave Marcheski, ABC 27 News.